This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome back. You are now tuned in to the Still a Man podcast. It's Tuesday night. Y'all know what time it is. Tonight's topic, Mississippi Monkey Award. Let's get right to it. You guys, before we get started, let me just say this. Remember, this is open forum. Let's everybody respect everybody's opinions, their perspectives. Give everyone a chance to speak. Let's just respect everyone. And remember, let's agree to disagree. Now that y'all got the rules of engagement, let's go. Oh, one more thing. I know this is a spicy topic. So if you can, let's avoid dropping any F-bombs referring to this matter. All right, let's go. So when you guys hear the word monkey, how does that make you feel? Let me just tell you guys real quick. Let me just give you a definition. So a monkey is a small primate with a long tail that usually lives in trees. So how does that make you feel when you hear people refer to people of the colored race as monkeys? Let's start off with Tanya. Let's go, Tanya. You got the floor.
I knew you was gonna come to me first. Monkeys. I think it's such a derogatory term to be calling someone of color a monkey. It's just a racist name.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sit well. Not at all.
Okay. Patsy, you're up next.
Like, I've never heard the term Mississippi Monkey Award. I've never heard of that. So it's like, I kind of like, what is that, you know? But like, when I see people, I different colors and races, I don't even think of like any racist remarks because that's how I was brought up. It's like, I see people as people, not as a color. You know what I'm saying? This does not mean anything to me. It's like, you're a person, I'm a person. Let's all get along together. It's like, let's just get along together. It's like that song Ebony and Ivory. Why can't we get along together? Basically, like, I think back to that. It's like, yeah, it's like, why do we have to look at each other as a color instead of as people?
That's aptly put, and good 80s reference. Who was that? Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney?
Yes.
If it was them, shout out to them. Good song. Next up, Timmy, how you feel about that word?
Outright racist. It kind of goes into the movie Planet of the Apes. That's where I believe that people started, after they saw that movie, then people started calling blacks monkeys, just because the apes was talking. And then they say, oh yeah, they're hairy. They've got, you know, they got same. They almost got the same facial, you know, bone structure and all that stuff. So yeah, it's definitely racist, and I think it's because of the movie Planet of the Apes.
Okay. Next up, Josie. How you feel about that word?
Derogatory. Yeah, but tonight, just by the way, just let you know.
Yeah, we're on one phone, guys. Disrespect, blatant disrespect. And to be honest with you guys, it's just getting worse.
And they've been calling you that before the Planet of the Apes, Uncle T. I wanted to say that just to intervene a little bit. I understand that some people call their kids their little monkey, but it's not usually in the Black community. And people should pay attention to things that they're saying that might hurt somebody.
All right. Good. Let's go to Maria. Maria, you ready to share?
I think it's disrespectful. I don't have a problem with the word monkey, but when you try to put it to as describing a human or a Black person per se, is disrespectful.
Right to the point. Mr. Brimage, care to share?
Could you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. I find something terribly wrong with it. I don't think it's right to call a person of color that, and it's even so much more worse when I think my friend went to DR, and all of the grown men down there was calling each other monkey boys. And they didn't see anything wrong with calling each other monkeys. So there's a problem in that itself right there.
Okay.
Well,
Deli?
can I go off of that?
Yeah,
that would
Kiana,
be the
you
same
can
as
go.
that would be
Deli.
the same as people saying why do we say the N-word to each other? So they might not find it derogatory towards each other, but if somebody else says it, they do. I find it offensive. I mean, I think the reason why they come up with that is because monkeys and humans are similar, but monkeys can't speak. Monkeys are supposedly dumber than humans. So that would be the parallels or that you would use, I guess, that they use to come up with, that would be the derogatory thing. Well, we haven't been in trees, so I don't get it. And I mean, truth be told, if someone who, and I find it not offensive if you say, like you say, your little kid, you jumping around like a little monkey. That isn't, I think it depends on where you come from, how you're saying it and how you're using it. Of course, anyone outside of the race who's using it towards us, they're not using it affectionately. They're using it to say that you're dumb. You can't, you don't have the appendage of, using your thumbs or whatever. So it has some history of that. I believe that's why they started using it as a derogatory trope towards Black people.
Okay. Deli?
I find it offensive. For me, growing up in school, elementary, in Cambridge, they used to identify me that way. So I always felt it offensive. And that's how they used to identify people of color, as monkeys and apes and things like that. So I always found it offensive. I never saw that as a friendly word. It was always derogatory and geared to people of color. So
the fact that they have it on a piece of paper as a certificate, an award, I'm confused and concerned.
Yeah, you the number
And you
one
can,
monkey now.
You can order this.
The sad thing about it is that they had a meeting about it before they
Hold
even
on, guys. Hold on. Just to be fair, I wanted to go around, so we still
Oh,
didn't
I'm
get.
sorry.
We
I'm
still didn't
sorry.
get. I know. I know. Just hold on a little bit longer, and I'm just gonna cut the rope and let y'all go. All right, Mr. Bird, how do you feel about this matter?
I mean, again, I agree and piggyback with everybody. It's disrespectful, but they say all men have, the evolution of man started with ape, monkey, whatever you want to call it. So, again, it's a very disrespectful comment. It can get somebody punched in their mouth, and then I'm wrong and go to jail. So I guess I'll be wrong.
Yeah, we don't want to punch nobody in the mouth. Not yet. Sean, how you feel about that word?
I'm gonna piggyback with everybody else. I mean, I don't have a problem with the word, but I have a problem with how it can be associated with us in a derogatory manner.
All right, guys. So, Mississippi, I believe it's Batesville, elementary teacher. She decides that this is an appropriate award for the ceremony. So just give you guys a little background. According to them, this was a theme ceremony. So all the children were scheduled to receive an animal award. Now, I'm not certain as to what the different colors and races were of the children in the classroom. But I do know the educator was one of our white family members. And I don't know if I can claim this person as a family member on this day due to her behavior. So I'm gonna, let's scratch that. This elementary teacher of the white race decided that she was going to give this colored child the Monkey Award. And it just so happened that it took place in the depths of, I would say, some would agree with me, the origin of racist behavior, racism. And she said this happened under the guise that she was not aware of any racial tension between, I guess, the word in its comparison with people of color. So, Miss Teacher, lady who they've yet to divulge your name, you're gonna learn today, in the words of Kevin Hart, this is not how you refer to a person of color, be it a young person, a teenager, a younger adult, mature adult, or one of our elders. So, tech person, let's get into that video.
Yeah, well, Joy, so far, I talked to the mother tonight, 5-year-old Braylon Ellis's mother. She's angry, she's upset, and she wants more to be done. Now, more than a week after this happened, she told me she met with district officials who told her, yes, what happened was unacceptable, but the child's teacher didn't know the history behind African Americans being compared to monkeys.
We wasn't happy about that. I'm still not happy about it. I'm angry because I don't understand why my son got the Monkey Award when he had received a award that he had completed pre-K.
Shamika Ellis is looking for answers after her 5-year-old son was given this award at the end of the school year. He received other awards too, but this one, comparing him to a monkey, is something Ellis didn't expect. What was his reaction?
He was excited about the award, but he had no idea what he was holding. So, it's unacceptable for me.
She sent emails to school officials asking for an explanation, eventually meeting with the South Panola School District Superintendent and Batesville Elementary's principal.
She stated that the teacher stated that she gave him the award for his energy, but the certificate, the award doesn't say anything about energy. It says entertainment.
Ellis says they told her an animal-themed award ceremony had taken place in Braylon's class. She also says the principal told her school leaders had a meeting before this happened, cautioning them about awards given to students.
You know, the awards, she stated she had a meeting with them, and she stated that they were not to pass out any awards that was going to be offensive or raise a red flag, but they did it anyway.
Ellis says district officials told her her concerns should have been addressed immediately. An award ceremony similar to this one will not happen anymore. Now she wants an apology from the district.
So these teachers have messed up. They was wrong. The superintendent know they was wrong. The principal know they was wrong. So they need to be held accountable for what they have done.
And after all of our unanswered calls to the district, we emailed Batesville Elementary's officials asking if this award is given out every year and if Braylon was the only child to receive the Monkey Award. As of tonight, we have not heard back from any school officials.
Oh, my people, the verdict's in. Adopt a parish. You SAM, still a man, and be forever. Adopt a parish, ladies first. SOS, support our sisters. Even if you support our sisters only. No pun intended. Scurry yourself over to EmporiumPlus.org, where you will find the latest fashions.
All right, let's get right to it. Miss Patsy, what is it that you do for? Wait a minute, Patsy. What is it that you do for an occupation?
Like, I was a daycare teacher. I was mostly working with infants, but I have worked with like preschool and toddlers, and really like when I was working in Alabama, in Mobile, I was like the only white teacher there. But it's like like I said before, I don't think of people as a color. I think as people are people no matter what. You know, I see beyond. I see you as a person. You see what I'm saying? And like, to give an award to a child going from preschool, graduating, whether it's pre-K 1 or 2, no, you don't do that. You don't get. Okay, I agree that you shouldn't give them awards for graduating in preschool, but like when you say all the kids are gonna have an award, like an animal style award, that just opens up the door for disrespect, you know. And if you gave that child like that award to a white child for their energy, like, yeah, granted, like we have that kid song Five Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed, but that's a song, it's not racially motivated. I don't think, you know, but it's, you know, because we saying that as kids across the board, you know. And what happens when you jump on the bed? One fell off and bumped his head. Well, yeah, it's like, don't give a child an award, especially racially motivated. You know, it's like, that's not appropriate. I've never heard of that before. Anyways.
So I gotta ask you. You said Mobile, Alabama. Is this indicative of the behavior of the people down there? Did you hear anyone using this derogatory term when referring to one another or the children within that setting in the
No,
school?
no. Really, I have never heard that, and it's not even professional either. Or even from one child to another. I've never heard of that because, like, that terminology is not like balanced out. It's not tied. It's like not good behavior. And even as like the teachers using it towards one another, I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Even parents saying that to each other, it's like I've never heard that.
Okay. Robert, you want to speak on this?
Well, woke up one morning, turned on my everyday listen to Hot 97, getting ready for me and Chloe's day, which that's my dog. I heard him say a K1 kindergarten student had just received the Monkey Award from a teacher. And I said, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. I thought I was hearing things, but I really heard it for what it was. And I said, this is going to be a topic we're going to have to discuss on the platform Still a Man. I was going to be a Think About Thursday, or it's going to be a Tuesday night Still a Man podcast. So I rushed and tried to bring it to the table. I don't like it. I'm going to say that over and over. I think that the teacher should lose her job. I don't think that she should be working around children anymore, because this might not have been the first time that she made a racial slur or a comment like this. This just happened to be the first time she got caught and people paid attention to it. So I just think that is not fair to the kid, because it's kind of is messing with his mental. And he's very young, and he's still is trying to find out who he is. So as of right now, he might believe that he's a monkey.
Now, Deli, you want to speak on this?
On what? Because I don't want to be insensitive to anybody. I really
this is an open forum, and we're dealing with adults, and everybody upon participating, I gave a disclaimer earlier, so you agree to disagree. Let's just be respectful of one another, and you can say what you want to say, but in a respectful way.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna not make the comment that I really want to make, but no, I'm gonna pass, because
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again.
I can't distinguish if this is taught. Clearly, to me, the teacher knows. She might not have known what it means, but there's always a
I got you, Deli. They're in the heart
No.
of Mississippi. It's the heart
Gregory,
of racism.
Gregory, let her finish. Let her finish. Deli, okay. Finish your thought.
It's taught, and she might not have understood the severity of it. Maybe not, as Patsy said, she never heard of a word like that. However, just to ingest that type of a word to a young Black child, that Black child, as Mr. Roberts said, doesn't even have a clue that he's just been labeled. It's just an ongoing thing in society, in the world, that keeps us divided. Now, I'm going to ask a question, damn it, because I want to. Excuse my mouth. Miss Patsy, you're a person not of color. I'm not attacking or disrespecting you. Some people that are not of color are not all prejudiced. But a part of me feels like Malcolm X's movie. When he was he had a movement going. And there were some people that were not of color that wanted to engage and learn more, and it was unacceptable, totally unacceptable. Okay, because you don't understand this culture. So with that being said, Miss Patsy, you spoke as a teacher, you know, caring for young children. Never heard of that word before. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to ask, like, your upbringing, you know what I'm saying? Were you ever, was it ever discussed about people of color or not at all? Was it ever taught? I always question that with other races because we're so alienated or annihilated, you know? So I always ask that question.
Go ahead, Patsy, enlighten her.
Okay, as like most of the adults in the Brewington family, especially the older adults like you, David, Josie, and your siblings and cousins, they have known me, my sister, my brother, and especially my mom. My mom did teach us different things about racism and being sensitive. But it's like, that's why I say, like, I don't look at people as a color. I look at people as people. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, it's like even to the N word is like my mother would always say I only heard her use the word one time straight out, and it's to say it's like being ignorant and stupid. So that was her way of deterring any of us to say, and she's never encouraged us to use it towards someone else of color. It's like, you don't use it, you don't do that, you know, like any derogatory.
Why did she use it? I just don't think that, and that's why I was asking the question, not to point you out, not to disrespect you in any way, but
oh no, you're not disrespecting me.
Okay,
I'm just explaining and answering your
so
question.
why is people of color a conversation?
Patsy, I'm gonna let you get a little reprieve. Gregory, go on and jump in it. Say what you was gonna say.
I was saying that, man, listen, it's a lot I had to cover, and then it all just slipped my mind real quick. I didn't know you was gonna throw me in there right now. I'm getting my hair braided. I'll come back to my thought.
Okay, you over there doing that Mario thing. All right, so Gregory's getting his hair braided. We're gonna go to let's go to Tanya.
I want to say something.
All right, go ahead, Maria.
What I want to know is, you said the teacher said she didn't know nothing about this word or that it meant something to the Black culture. Now, if she was sat down with her bosses and the superintendent and the principal, and they already told her about, you know, giving out this award, how could she say she did not know? You knew it meant something, that, you know, you had to have that talk before you did it. And then my other question is, what was the other animals? Why couldn't he get the bird animal? Why couldn't he get the lion animal? Like, what was the other animals that you gave out?
Good question. They're being tight-lipped about that. Like I said in the beginning, they haven't even divulged the teacher's name.
That's what
I don't think it's that hard to figure out who she is, because I'm pretty sure at some point another podcast host or even the people that live within that area is going to leak her name. I'm pretty sure, you know, the people the children attend that school, they know who this teacher is. Mama Ellis has probably been told not to speak this person's name due to legal purposes.
Yes, because I think she's planning on suing the school.
A
Yeah,
lot of
Ben Crump.
a lot of the Republican southern states are still kind of controlled. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, they're uneducated. Some of them probably don't know all of their rights, and if they do, they're still controlled. You understand how it was able to happen? That
It's
could
still
not happen in
segregated.
Massachusetts.
So I'm gonna say this to you, Kiana. You and I spoke about this matter in depth a couple of times before this week. So you brought some type of stats to my attention in regards to the top, I believe, racist states or something like that. So in a moment, I want you to share that with the team, the platform, the panel, once you pull it up. Tanya, let's get your views on this.
Well, when you sent what it was going to be about, I went to look it up because I was like, passing. I'm like, what is a Mississippi Monkey Award? And I went and looked it up, and I saw that it was a teacher that gave this child an award. They had the themed award, animal awards, and she gave him the Monkey Award and said it was for his entertainment, and then say for his energy. Now the entertainment is like, that's like saying that he was on minstrel display. You know what I'm saying? When they had the white folks did the black covering, and was the entertainment like that. And so that was really disrespectful. Like how are you gonna label that child like that? And then to say that you had no idea that word was like that with the black folks. You in Mississippi.
But out of all the animals, Tanya, wouldn't that monkey identify or more profoundly make that award even greater for that little black boy?
Would it make it greater?
Out of all the animals, why did she choose the monkey?
Exactly. And I was going where Maria went. Like, I would like to know what other kids, what animal award the other kids got. That's what I would like to know. And if there was any kind of racial connotation with that.
Can I say this? There's an animal that they used to have back in slavery days. It's a monkey. They used to come out on stage with the black people. They used to sing and dance, and it clapped its cymbals. It had like brass cymbals in its hand or something, and it claps and it sings and it dances. It's a real thing. So even when they're saying that he's getting an entertainment award, it's a little bit racist. And you're in Mississippi. It's like one of the most racist states ever. All the stuff that we've seen in movies, Mississippi burning and all that other stuff, it's racist down there. We know that. It's the heart of the Mississippi. There's a lot of stuff going on. So for her to say that, it sounds like a lot. Point blank, period. And then I was gonna get,
go ahead.
I was gonna get into I'll come back to it later. I'm good.
No. Finish your thoughts so that you don't forget.
No, I'll get back into it later. I had a lot to say because I was just recently working with somebody from Mississippi, and he told me that it's segregated still down there. He said it's amazing when he comes up here and he sees us working with the white people, and it's peaceful. It's crazy to see that, he said. Because when you go down to Mississippi, and we call this dude Mississippi at work and everything. You go down to Mississippi, you know when you're in the suburb.
Okay. Kiana, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I pulled it up. So when it comes to Mississippi, out of the ranking out of the 50 states, they are the 50th with healthcare, the 43rd with education. They are the 49th when it comes to their economy, meaning it's trash. The infrastructure is 48. The opportunities are 44. Their fiscal stability is 41, but they are a welfare state. Their crimes and corrections are 33. And their natural environment is 22. And then there's some other stats. Give me a moment to go down. But overall, their ranking out of the 50 states is 49th.
So when you say
And
49 in these numbers, so the
like
lower
one
you
would be
are,
the
the worse you
greatest.
are.
The one would be the greatest, and the 50th would be the worst.
So
Less,
you're
the
telling,
less.
okay, so one would be the ones that are well off. So you're telling me that that they're at 49.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who is 50?
I want to say it's probably Alabama. It's
I
sister
was
cousin.
they say that. I was about to say
Yes,
that.
Bob,
As
it's
Ku
Alabama.
Klux
It is
Klans down
Alabama.
in Birmingham and Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's where I was in Mobile, you know?
And
Still
so
have Ku Klux down there, Pets.
so
Yeah,
let me
but
say
you
this.
know what? I was in the ghetto part of Mobile too, so yeah.
Sean, you want to jump in there?
Yes. I'm gonna have a different perspective from everyone else's because based off of what you told me the subject was, and I went and looked it up, this and the other. And I tend to like to make my opinions off of context and facts. And because I don't know who this teacher is, don't know what her age is, and although we as Black people, because we hear the Monkey Awards, because we've seen certain things, taught certain things, we jump to it automatically her being racist, derogatory, this, that, and the other, not even knowing who this individual is. And so where I'm going with this is that I know even with some of our own people, our own youth, some of our own people, they don't even know all the history of all the racism and derogatory things or prominent leaders that's even been of any resource to us. So I'm inclined to believe that this lady, whoever she is, could be exactly like that. Just grew up knowing certain things, but not knowing, if that makes any sense to anybody. And so until I know like her story and her background, I just don't feel comfortable with jumping automatically to assuming that she did it out of a racist motive. I heard people say, what was the other monkeys? Well, I mean, what was the other animals that she gave out? Well, in society, we look at monkeys as entertaining anyway. When you go to the circus, what animal do they actually use to do the most entertaining of? Go to Egypt, they have the belly dances, this and the other, but they also use the monkeys, as Gregory said earlier, to do the tambourine, to go around. Street performers, they use monkeys because they're the animals that you can actually train and control the most.
Now, I gotta tell you this, what you just said, because they are the ones that you can control the most. So I have to tell you this. I mean, you present the devil's advocate, and I spoke to my daughter regarding this matter too, and she is a young educator, and she shared your views. She said perhaps this lady was maybe she is unknown. She was unaware, I should say, about the racial undertones. However, she was warned in advance by the superintendent. They had a meeting beforehand. So even if she didn't know,
she found out.
She knew before the ceremony because they cautioned her as to using some sensitivity and discretion when making the award. So I don't think that that's a ground that she can stand on. I don't think that that's something that she can hide behind if she didn't know, because they brought it to her attention. So
Yeah,
she
not
wasn't.
but let's say if she didn't. Let's say if it wasn't brought to her attention, though, right? Let's just say, for instance, if it wasn't brought to her attention,
when they had that meeting and they said, make sure X, Y, and Z, wasn't it her responsibility as a teacher to do the
Yes.
research to make sure that this would not come off in any type of situation that we are all covering right now? It's just a
Yes.
question.
Exactly.
Especially given the where we are
Current
in the
affairs.
right now.
The current climate that we're in.
Yes, especially since of that.
And that's why I said I can't go with that she didn't know. Even if she's young and she didn't know, someone tried to make her aware of the consequences and she still did it. So what do that make you?
But do we know that though? Even though they said don't give out anything that's sensitive, did she present to them what she was going to give out, to where then is it not the school's responsibility to let her know that, okay, you're giving out these awards, who are you giving them out to?
No, it's her responsibility.
It's her
She should have checked
responsibility.
every animal that she was going to give out. She could have did a quick little Google search and she would have been okay. So it's her fault for not doing the homework. Do your homework.
Should it have
You're
been
the
an
teacher.
issue if a white kid got a monkey award? Would this be a big uproar if a white
Exactly,
kid got
and
a
that's
monkey
that's
award?
where I'm going. That's where I'm going with it. That's where I'm
Maybe,
going.
maybe it wouldn't. Maybe she should have gave out 2 monkey awards, one to a white kid and one to a black kid, and nobody wouldn't have so much to talk about.
They wouldn't.
And that's just it, because we have the history or whatever the case may be, how we look at it as.
No, you can't just say we, Sean. It's they made it our history. So
Yeah,
it's their history too.
The problem is that
But
they
listen
stopped
to,
teaching
yes,
Black
they made it our
history
history,
in
but we're the ones affected by it. So that's why I can say we. We're the ones that's affected by it. So therefore, because go ahead.
Go ahead, Sean. I was just finish your thought.
So because they made it our history. So we're the ones who's affected by it. So that's why we're attacking it in the way that we're attacking it. To where, like I said, my stance is, because I don't, even though she may have had this meeting, this, that, and the other, we only have the snippet or the soundbite of what that meeting was supposedly said, that don't give out anything that's offensive. And she looked at it and probably felt like it was not offensive. So they left it up to her to make that judgment call. And so if she was not aware, or if she didn't do her homework, or this, that, and the other, she didn't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
Can I ask this question?
Can
I
I
definitely
actually-
want to
go
ask
ahead.
this question right
Go
here. This is a question for everyone. Put yourself in that young lady's place as a mother or a father. Now, you have a child that's that age, and your child comes home with the Monkey Award given to them by a Caucasian woman that claims, growing up in Mississippi, I never once heard them call a colored kid a monkey. I never once heard them make a racial slur, term, anything towards any blacks, that there was monkeys, because they look ugly, they smell like a monkey, they act like a monkey, they live in a tree like a monkey, all of that. If that was you, Sean, and someone else that might agree with you, how would you felt when your 6-year-old or however old this child is came home and said, Dad, I got a monkey award, I'm so excited, and just saying, what the hell is this?
In Mississippi.
Right.
In Mississippi.
But see, and I'm glad you said it like that, Josie, because of in Mississippi. We say it like that because we only know what we hear on the news or whatever else, or what we read about, or whatever else that we know about Mississippi. I have family members that are from Mississippi, that live in Mississippi. Yes, Mississippi is racist, this, and the other, but they've never experienced it. They've never been around it. It's segregated there, so everyone stays in their place.
That's what I just said about the guy working with me.
So just because you're in
I
a
would
state
have a problem with my child getting a monkey award if it was in Massachusetts, given by a black teacher.
Me too, but isn't that still kind of like being ignorant and racist at the same time? You said they never encountered it because everything's segregated and you staying in your own lane, they staying in their own lane. What happens if you do cross over to the other lane?
They're
then
gonna kill you.
then you'll have a different story.
Right.
Have a different experience. But if you ain't
And I,
never experienced anything, just because you're around something don't mean that you experienced everything.
Okay.
I agree with Tanya. I would have a problem even if it was
The
awarded
black
to
woman.
here in Massachusetts. I think that
Because
we're
of
beyond
our
that. And
history.
right, but you keep
Because
saying
of
our
our
history.
mindset.
We need to make our history their history. Like, why don't you know this?
Yeah.
Kiana,
Part of American
jump,
history. That's how I view it.
Kiana, jump back in there.
Yeah, it's just like our uncle said. You know, he didn't know about races until he moved up into the black area because he was down in the South End where it was mixed races. You know, it wasn't just all black. So he said he didn't know about racism until he moved up in Roxbury. That's when he found out about racism. So, like Sean said, it is true that you could be around stuff and it don't even be accepted to it.
Okay.
But
So
that
let me
doesn't mean you don't know about it and you don't
so
educate yourself about it.
so let me
I'm
say
gonna,
this to you.
David,
Let me
can I
say this
say
to you.
this real quick? I don't want to
Yeah.
interrupt you guys. I want to support Sean too. It's about learned behavior. So if
Yeah.
people are teaching them, so when he said, you know, we labeled it as segregation, right? But
Segregation.
yeah, sorry, they stay in their area and we stay in our area. We do what we do, they do what they do, right? Today at work, one of my clients, and you know, it might be switching subjects, but she said to me, something about Uncle Tom.
Oh, my people, the verdict's in. A Dr. Parrish, you SAM, still a man, and be forever a Dr. Parrish ladies first. SOS, support our sisters, even if you support our sisters only. No pun intended. Scurry yourself over to EmporiumPlus.org, where you will find the latest fashions.
And I said, you know, I didn't know where she was going with it. And I'm dealing with people with developmental disabilities, you know what I mean? So again, learned behavior. And I said, do you have an Uncle Tom or are you referring to the word Uncle Tom? And she said, yeah, I have an Uncle Tom. Now it made me sit there and think for a minute. I'm like, I know she has a problem with people of color because it's in her record, right? So when I think about it, I'm like, did someone label me as an Uncle Tom? So it just got to be words that we're saying. You say monkey, you say Uncle Tom, you say Auntie Tom. It's what you said, Sean, our history and what we were taught about these words. But why were these words taught to us in our history?
Can I ask something?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so if you stay in your lane and you stay over there, you know why you're not supposed to go over to the other side. So you can't, I feel like you can't use that as an excuse. Somebody in your family has told you you can't go over there because you're going to have some problems. I don't think you just stay where you are because you're just staying where you are. You were told not to stay, go to the other side. You were told to stay over there, and therefore you live over here. So I feel like there is a history of why you don't go across the tracks over in that town, over in that neighborhood, why you don't drive through there at night, why you better be home before the street lights come on, that kind of stuff. So there is some kind of history that was told why you stay over there and why we stay over here.
And that's good. That is good. But you don't know the effects of it all until you actually experience it. You can be told whatever. It's just like your mother or somebody telling you, don't touch the stove. Now, you gonna touch it because they can tell you don't do something all day long, but they never tell you why not to do it They just said, don't do that. This is da 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 da. And then you turn around and what do? Because you're curious, you want to know something, and if you are like that, you go and you touch it. And now you have the effects of what it was that you was being told not to do.
So could I say this? So you want me to believe that these people, just dumb as this sounds, like we would half-ass teach our children all the way right from wrong. So I'm gonna tell you not to touch the stove. That's the reason. Don't touch the stove. But I'm not gonna tell you all the way like I raised my kids. Don't touch that stove and turn those knobs on because fire's coming out and you may get burned or burn down our house.
Yes, some of us parents are about just telling our kids, do what I say and not what I do.
That's true. That's exactly a parenting style.
I say to them, don't touch the stove, and I don't think of anything else to say. And don't touch it. Just hey, don't touch that stove.
Because your word is law.
I'm thinking my words. That's what I believe. I'm just responding to your. I'm just responding to your statement.
Now let me say this to you. Let me say this to you guys. So I keep hearing that word history, our history. So let me tell y'all.
Oh man, Uncle D, can I say this? I just came back. I'm sorry. Because I was just about to say something. Let me give y'all a little history, archaeological lesson right now. Because there's a lot of shit going on that we probably missed. You know what I mean? So when they said that we were 3/4 of a man, and then they said that we were part animal, they were talking about black people, right?
Yeah, in the Constitution.
And then when you find the oldest bones in the world, and you think of what? Darwin theorism. So you're gonna think of the Darwin theorism of a person evolving from a monkey, and they're talking about us because they're studying those bones over there that are of colored people. So even when they talk about giving you a monkey award, it just all sounds so racist deep down to the roots of it.
Let me say this to you guys. So I'm going to go a little further with Gregory's saying. So let's talk about the history of Mississippi. This is a place of some of the most heinous crimes in history. Let's talk about and I want to make sure I get these names correct. What is his name? Medgar Evers.
Yeah.
Emmett Till.
Yeah.
Wallace Jackson.
Emmett Till.
The civil rights leaders, the activists, the three individuals, the three men, young men, they went down to Mississippi to help them with their voting, and they disappeared. And it took 2 months before they found their bodies, let alone just recently, I'm gonna say 12 years ago, 2005, the person that came forth or who they elected to take the fall at 89 years old. This man was just tried in 2005 for a crime that was committed almost 50 years or more ago. So that's crazy. Now, Emmett Till, he wasn't even from Mississippi. He was from Chicago. He was visiting, or he made the move there. He supposedly offended the white woman, and he lost his life because of that. Medgar, he lost his life because he was standing up for his people. Wallace Jackson lost his life because he was a member of the NAACP. So again, now bear in mind, Wallace was the second time the KKK attempted to blow up a member of the NAACP. The first time, it didn't work. The second time, it worked. So this is why I say to you guys, every place has a history, and Mississippi has a history too, and theirs is deeply entrenched with violence. and racism. So when they say that this, and according to the reporter, the teacher said she had no knowledge of any comparison of a monkey to people of color. However, let's say this woman is 20 years of age. No, it's because she got to be a little older to be an educator. I'll say 22, 24 of age. All right. And let's say she did not live in that town initially. Say she wasn't born in that town. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say she moved to that town. Now, upon moving to that town, after a while, you get a sense of how things work in this town. She's an educator. I'm gonna take it a step forward and say she's a scholar. So it's her job to educate. There's a certain responsibility that comes with being an educator. So when she gave this award and she labeled it the Monkey Award. Now, this is after she was advised to be sensitive and use some discretion. I think at that time, the superintendents, even the people that was hosting this meeting, even if she wasn't aware of the racial comparisons, they were, and they tried to caution her. And I think at that point, it should have been her due diligence to go ahead and make sure she was sensitive to everybody that was participating in the ceremony. Now, I have another question. Would she had felt comfortable presenting this award if this child's parents was present during the ceremony? Because I do not believe the parents was present, because it says that the child came home with the award and he was not aware of what he was holding. Would she felt comfortable enough to do so if those parents was present? I feel like perhaps she felt emboldened because that was her setting, that was her territory, that she could behave as such and there would not be any consequences. And to this day, we're not certain if there's any consequences because she hasn't come forth. She hasn't spoke on this. Everybody else has spoken on this, except this individual. But I want to take it a step further. This is a classroom environment. The purpose is to teach. So what did we teach these other children that were present at this ceremony? Because people of color, we are sensitive when it comes to certain racial slurs. So even if this teacher didn't know there was something wrong with it, perhaps maybe these children are more aware than her, because these children these days, they're geniuses compared to what we were when we was that age. So let's say, as Robert stated in the beginning, about the people in DR was referring to one another as monkey boy. Now, what if these children, in turn, upon hearing this teacher present this kid with the monkey award, started calling him monkey boy? Now, we don't know how that would have made that kid feel, but we're educators. So now we just taught these children a hard lesson, both that child that received the award and those children that were present during that award ceremony. Because if everybody was ignorant to it beforehand, they are not now. So
Exactly. As
we move forward.
As a parent, would you hold the school responsible as well as the teacher?
Certainly, because I have education. One of my degrees is in early child education. So you have to be careful about what you present to children, because children are like sponges. They absorb everything. And you guys know that too, because none of us is that old that we don't remember how it was to be a child and be at the footstool of your educators, first educators, which are your parents. They provide a tutelage about things, and you knew there were certain things you didn't say and there were certain things you didn't do. You knew you would behave a certain way in a certain setting. So again, I want to know why these parents weren't present during this ceremony. Was they not allowed to? I mean, because I remember my mother being present at my kindergarten graduation before I went to the first grade. You guys again, Sean, do you remember your kindergarten graduation? Was your parents present?
I don't remember.
Timmy? Tanya? Tanya, you got to turn your mic on.
No, I don't remember. I mean, I'm about to be 56, so that's a long time ago. I don't remember, but what I do want to ask this question is, if they hadn't started to whitewash the books and not teach history, Black history, these people probably would be a little more sensitive and a little more educated. And now they're trying to revert everything back to how it was before we had any type of advancement.
Yeah. That's a great phrase. Now that brings us to, have you guys heard of CRT, critical race theory? Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
Okay, so if you know, whoever said yes, inform the rest of the panel.
Okay, technically, it is a course at universities. It is not taught in any K through 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually a legal course of how racism affects, well, how it's institutionalized and how it's systematic and how it affects law and the people of color, how racism affects them in every aspect of their life, including with law. So that is what it is. Someone, I do not know his name, decided to make CRT the boogeyman, so that everyone would be up in arms about books and movies and history and everything else. So
anything
it is
to do with racism.
Anything that, thank you, Tanya. Anything that has to do with racism.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that there is curriculum that can be introduced to teachers so that they can educate these children about what racism is and how it affects us as a whole, and we are fighting this?
Not
Absolutely.
We are fighting this.
We are, I mean,
fighting this.
They're not, I mean, it is not, again, it is a college course. So no, it's not going to be applicable to a kindergarten person. A person could maybe take it and bring it down to the levels and teach an aspect of it. But that is why a lot of these states have passed these laws about the curriculum. Books that have been read for years are now being taken off of shelves, like the one of the Toni Morrison books, I think, is it the blue? No, it's not The Bluest Eye. Beloved. So books that have been out for years, part of their curriculum, they're taking those off. Newer books that are being written that are teaching kids to, love their race, love themselves. They don't want us to love ourselves, and they want us to be all oblivious to a history that is, no matter how much you try to hide it, it plays a part in our lives today.
So again, I think that we do ourselves as a whole, the world over, to pretend that racism is not an issue. So to try to deny an education, that I think that it would benefit everybody if it was a part of the curriculum. I think it would benefit. I think it would benefit the teachers too if it was a part of their training, because if so, then we would avoid situations like this. There would not be, no, I can't even say, see, I can't even convince myself that we still wouldn't have conversations like this, because there's always going to be individuals that are going to go against the grain. There are people that are preconditioned to be racist and be prejudiced about anything and everything and everybody. So you will
But
have
that's a taught behavior.
Yes, preconditioning. So again, we can say again, this teacher, because right now we don't know, so we're speculating. We don't know if this is a young educator or an elder educator. But let's just say this: what if we find out that this is one of our elder scholars, and she's been doing this for 35 years or more? Then can we say that she was unaware of any racial comparison, of any racial undertones? Would that change any of your opinions? We'll go with Sean first. Sean? Guys, turn your mic on.
Yeah, what was your question again?
If we learn, because we don't know if this lady, the teacher, is a young teacher or an elder teacher. So let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say she is an elder educator and she's been doing this for 35 years or more. Would that change your opinion regarding the matter if you learn with the rest of us that this individual has been a part of the system for 35 years to 45 years?
Yeah, it would, because I now have more content and more information to base my judgment on.
Great. See, that is a man that, you won't allow yourself to anybody to influence your perspective. You're going to wait on the information, and then you're going to draw your own conclusion. You won't be led by others. That's a man of conviction. That's good. We need that. Maria, if you learn that this is an elder educator, how would you feel then?
What do you mean, if it was the elder versus the younger woman?
No, yeah. If it was an elder educator, if the person is guilty of this behavior, this offense, would it enhance your annoyance towards this behavior?
Yes,
knowing this person's older.
Yes, because you definitely not going to be able to tell me you didn't know, being that you lived in Mississippi all your life.
Yep.
Patsy?
I agree with that, like, regardless of the age, like, but definitely then this person has been in the system 30 plus years. You know better. You know how things are done and things what some of those connotations are about and what it's meant by a monkey award or whatever kind of awards. Like, you know what's behind that connotation, so you know better. And even at that 20-something-year-old woman that was warned, she should have took heed, but she in the back of her head, like being young and dumb, oh, that's not how it works, blah 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 blah. I ain't never heard nothing like that. She just didn't take word of mouth and investigate it like we said earlier. But an older person, no, you have no excuse.
So let me take this a step further. And I apologize to the rest of the panel because I didn't ask you guys your opinion. When you hear the word monkey, and if you look it up Urban Dictionary saying as a racial slur. What is the word that usually accompanies that word? What's closest in nature? Comparison. I'll wait. Robert, you gotta turn your mics on, people. Deli?
I don't know. Monkey, jackass, monkey ass, donkey. I don't know.
I'm saying referring like a racial slur, referring to people of color. What is usually what's one of the most offensive words towards a person of color? Next to monkey.
Nigga.
Okay. So if you heard that word, right? I would just say, that's offensive. So I would just think that people of all colors would be more sensitive, exercise a level of empathy and sensitivity when talking to children, first of all.
I'm here, and I don't know if this information is right. Kiana, feel free if you can double check this too. I think they said this lady has been teaching for almost 13 years.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm even saying. If it's over 10 years, she knows. She knew better.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the story like that. So I guess.
So let me ask you guys, what's been happening within the last 10 years? We've been the Black Lives Matters. There's been killings of Black people and stuff like that. So again, unless you live under a rock, you have experienced some of this situation. You got a TV. You even if you don't watch it, you've heard about it. There's stuff that come over your phone without you being without you subscribing to it. It tells you certain things. So again, I just think that when being an educator, it doesn't matter what age you are, you're supposed to be, you should be, you want to be amongst the all-knowing, if possible. You want to know anything that there is to know about when dealing with children. Because that's our job. Because again, we're supposed to educate them. So again, I feel like that this young lady or this woman providing education to everybody on this day when she did not heed the warning of the superintendent and whoever else was at that meeting. And let's just say this, I don't think she was the only one at that meeting. They had this meeting with everybody that was going to be a part of that ceremony. So if this is something that they've done in the past, I guess everybody else was shrewd enough and knowledgeable enough beforehand not to give this award out. So I don't know if anybody else cautioned her peers, her colleagues before
Uncle D, I can't let this slip. What were the Freedom Riders? The Freedom Riders were teachers, right? They were teachers. Where were the Freedom Riders located at? They went to Mississippi. They were in Mississippi fighting racism. This teacher cannot tell me that she don't know nothing about any of this stuff. And she didn't know it was a racial slur. That is some bogus bullshit.
BS. Yeah, BS.
Did it, and knowing that the parents wouldn't be present, it was an opportunity of a lifetime.
Okay. Absolutely. They probably weren't present because of maybe COVID, but
and not even just COVID, because Mississippi the economy is low there. They probably had to work.
Well, that's true too. So that's probably why they didn't have it. But if you were working for 13 years and maybe they had this meeting not to single this teacher out because she had issues in the past and they tried to do it as an overall, not point fingers. And I feel like if she was teaching for 13 years, she's done it before. And if she was like, I'll do what I've been doing, so I'm going to continue to make kids
continue to give these black kids monkey awards.
Yep.
So again, I agree with you. I feel like this is probably something a
She
term
just
that she
happened to give it
used.
to a kid whose mother was woke.
Well, she was comfortable in doing it because it's probably something that she used before, like in the classroom. Maybe she did refer to them as, you guys are little monkeys. You know, maybe she did. Maybe we are extra sensitive
Even with
because we
that,
are
Uncle D,
people of
earlier
color and based upon what we've been through. So, Kiana, what you say about our DNA?
Oh, that our ancestral DNA, because of what they went through, it has changed. It's our DNA is passed down. Our trauma DNA is passed down through generations.
So, how else would you expect people of color to act in this situation?
But I'm going to go with that. The people who are traumatizing us, that's passed down in their DNA too. So you can't be a victim of trauma and your DNA be changed without the people who are the victimizers. Their DNA is passed down as well.
So let me ask you guys this question. Do you think that you can receive you can go to your oppressor and request change? Because I don't think that the oppressor is going to offer a solution to the problem. They're not going to be willing to help the oppressed. So when these, I don't think that they're the solution that she's looking for. She may get an apology. She may or may not get an apology, but we can't be for certain that this is going to change this individual's behavior, nor will it change the environment of Mississippi, because this is something that's been going on for decades down there. So we can't. I don't know if we can really say this is an accident based upon the environment, the setting, the history, and everything that's taking place down there, and based upon what people of color continue to endure present day all over the world. So when people say this has happened long ago about the slavery and all this other stuff, the 40 acres and the mules, why don't we just let it go? This is the very reason why. Because when this continues to happen, it's like a festering sore. You can't heal.
They want to let it go to not, because the more you talk about it, the more people are getting enlightened by things that they're hearing. So they try to keep it quiet or just, make up excuses to say something different, when it's not what you trying to make it out is exactly how people is taking it, and that is exactly what it is. But they try to flip it to make it look like we didn't know this was gonna offend anybody.
Timmy, I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. And I think that's another reason why right now they're having disputes as to should this be implemented, the CRT, the critical race theory. Because I think that once you introduce this into the school system, then you will not be able to say, I didn't know.
It's super bad because look, even with the mother, look at the mother. She said she didn't. She don't think that her kid knows what he brought home because nobody's teaching this. That's why she said that. She's not saying
while kids are innocent, they really don't know nothing like that.
Yeah,
Unless
the kid
their
doesn't
family
know
is
that this is derogatory and racist. The kid doesn't know. He was happy about the award because he's feeling like, yeah, I'm a monkey, I jump around, but no, this is racist. You gotta reteach, you gotta re-educate him.
You gotta understand too. Race is a taboo discussion. I read something the other day.
It's a taboo discussion because they don't want to face the fact that they imprisoned a lot of us over here, and that they were they were what you call that, vultures.
Mhm.
They killed people to take over their land and then enslave them. So they don't want to talk about racism because they have to face their truths.
That's what it is. So I read something the other day. They said that discussions of race causes anxiety for white Americans. That's concerning because throughout history, you guys have been the oppressors.
Because
so
they
I don't know why. I don't believe that fear is real because I believe that the laws that you guys put in place, you created loopholes for you too. So you're always going to be protected. That's why I said to you guys before, the so-called minority will never become the majority until they realize that they are the true authority. See, because if there's strength in numbers, why are we the minority? That's you have to think about that. But you guys, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you guys get your final points in. Patsy, do you feel like that, and this is going to be the question for the whole panel, do you feel like that this is going to be a continuation, that there will be more incidents like this monkey award taking place, if not in Mississippi and other places in the world? Go.
Yes, I think this will, but it also set up a discussion and a fight to really find a resolution to stop this bad behavior. Because bottom line, that's all it is a bad behavior that is unacceptable. And that's that.
Okay. Well put. Tanya, same question.
Yes, I think that it will happen again until this country is willing to face their reality about racism, and that we need to be able to talk about this and to heal from it and move forward. It's going to continue to happen.
Okay. Maria.
Yes, I think this will happen again, especially if this is not handled the right way. It's just open up the doors for others to make it seem like there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, well put. Sean.
Yes, I think it's going to happen again because we've become a sensitive and acceptance society.
I like that. Both sensitive and accepting of the behavior. Timmy. Tim, you still with us? Okay, Robert.
Yes, I feel this is the beginning to something greater, a worse off award that will be passed out, and maybe we'll feel it then even more, and some that don't understand what's in front of them right now will understand it at a later date.
Good.
Yeah, I think is going to happen again, for sure, because they always, anything that comes to light, they try to block it or sweep it underneath the rug, like you didn't see what you seen or you didn't hear what you heard. So of course it's going to happen again.
Okay. Josie and Minister Lacey.
I believe that everything happens for a reason. So absolutely, it's going to happen again.
Okay, G. Lacey.
Yeah, it's going to happen again. And like somebody said earlier, it's almost like what Kanye said. Slavery was a choice because we let it happen. It's accepted. It don't make no sense.
Not the Kanye quote. Okay, Bird, you still with us?
Yo, stop it.
All right. let's get your final words. Do you feel like this situation will rear its ugly head again? We will have continuing conversations regarding this.
I think in a different nature, it definitely will be. You know, this is what this was, and there's going to be something new and something in a different nature, but it'll still show the racist whatever you want to call it, of, just plain racism. It doesn't stop, never going to stop. So I just think we'll just deal with it in a different manner next time.
Okay.
We'll be back on the panel for another topic.
We certainly will. Miss Deli.
Yes, I think it will continue again. It hasn't stopped. It's just in a different form, and I think what one of the sisters said, Maria Josie, it's almost forcing to see if it's accepted or not, but it's gonna be because it's in a southern state. It'll happen.
Kiana, you still with us?
Yeah, I came back.
Okay. So, do you think that this situation will be ongoing? Do you think that we will see something similar to this monkey award or other offenses?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, we still have people who do blackface, and that has been an outcry every year for many years. So absolutely.
And the sad thing about it is that my grandson, one of his classmates, sent him a video in blackface.
You see? And that's what I'm talking
thinking
about.
that it was funny, and it's not.
You see?
No.
That's what I'm talking. How old is your grandson?
He's gonna be, Booba's gonna be 15 or 14. He's gonna be 15, 13, his birthday.
Okay, so if his peers are able to Google or go on the internet and find information like this, this is why I'm gonna say this to you guys. You see this shirt? Can you read it? Can somebody read it?
U-Serum.
Do I need to get closer? Can you still see it?
Get closer.
So it says U-Serum, the uncut truth according to today's youth.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, whatever our opinion was and whatever our parents' opinions was and our grandparents' opinion was about all matters like this, it's going to be different when our children are our age and they're talking and having discussions about that, because it's different already right now. As you just said about these children can just click on something and they can learn about past offenses. That's why I can't believe that this person that is a teacher didn't do her research before making this reward. So I'm going to go ahead and end this by saying this, guys. Ignorance is no excuse for allowance. This has been the Still a Man podcast. God bless you guys. Keep coming back.
Good night.
Oh, my people, the verdict's in. Adopt or perish. U-Serum, still a man, and be forever. Adopt or perish, ladies first. SOS, support our sisters. Even if you support our sisters only. No pun intended. Scurry yourself over to EmporiumPlus.org, where you will find the latest fashions.